What's up, guys? Today, 𝘵𝘵𝘪𝘵𝘩 or behavior has posted a developer update that was on August 14th of this Friday, informing everybody about the player intent system, or briefly called ping wheel or chat wheel. So let's go over it. Last week they hosted an AMA, and on top of that, having a blast answering your question. There was a lot of good questions there. We noticed some topics really got you talking, and one of those was the chat wheel system. Like, I think everybody has been talking about always having a way to communicate through the game, right? And then base the meta upon that, because just more depth. It's more interactions between players on both sides, survivors and killers. Coordinate, communicate their intentions in game. It's gonna be amazing for solo queue and not as useful as in Swifts, right? So I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to base the meta upon Swift, because you're gonna have killers going up against peoples in groups. That's just inevitable. People are gonna play a video game with their friends. It would only make sense just to up that bar and then make killers better that way. So a better time than the present, exactly. To share some more details about it with you, including one way your feedback's already impacted it, is the player intent, right? You'll be able to communicate with the preset messages to your fellow survivors at the press of a button using a radio menu, which is good. I always appreciate a radio menu rather than like a box HUD. And so from thanking them for a heal, which is awesome, that's awesome, to saying you're going to work on gens, great. Suggesting you split up and hit macro spots. Messages focuses on the fly actions that are most useful during a trial, perfect, because there's only so many slots you can put on a radio menu before it gets jumbled up. So when a message is chosen during a player intent wheel, other survivors will see it next to your name in the game HUD. Keeping your general view of clear distractions while you're in the middle of looping or hunting for an objective. Right, it'll be like on the left side, so it'll be like split up. I don't know if I'm a big fan of the background showing up like that, but I almost want it to just be opaque. To help combat message spam, of course, I expected this, that you're going to expect a cooldown between messages, which will increase if too many messages are sent in a short time span. They want this comm wheel to suit different player specific needs, of course, so you'll be able to customize which messages you'll take into your trials from the options. One of the downsides, if the killers are able to hear the ping, in which I think they should, it would just be more realistic and in the game sense more depth. You have to be careful when you ping. Of course, one piece of feedback, I hope that there's not like a bad manner one. I wish people aren't gonna be like thanks when they loop a killer, because that's just bad manners. I mean, sure, do what you want. Of course, one piece of feedback we've seen is that a system like this isn't for everyone. We've already discussed this as a team and have a solution for that. If you'd rather not use the player intent system, chat wheel, you'll be able to disable it from the same menu. Awesome. Once disabled, you will not be able to send messages. Awesome. And it looks like they have up to 8 options you can put on your wheel. We've also added the ability to mute individual players, so you have more control over the comms you don't see. If you're finding a certain player's messages distracting, you can just mute them and it will block any further player intent messages from popping up on your end. While this system is meant for everybody who plays survivors, its value will be different depending on how you play. How your feedback from the AMA helped inform the addition of an opt-out option. We're dying to know your thoughts, so even better, it would be massively helpful if you could also share a little about how you played to give context to that feedback. For instance, tend to play solo queue, Swift, or identify as a killer main. How would you define your experience level in the game? A newer player, a veteran? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, 𝘵𝘵𝘪𝘵𝘪 team. Great. This is amazing. We've been asking for this feature for so long. It looks like, from what I've seen from this image, highlighted one is going for generator, second one's I'm on hook, third one's I'm running away, fourth one I have a med kit, fifth one I assume is calling for help, sixth one is thanks, good job, the seventh one is scatter, right? Eighth one is I am going to work on this specific gen. Split up, right? So here, yeah, so scatter, split up. And I am assuming this one is thanks, with the 2 hands dabbing up. So in Carnival Hunt, they have this system where you can ping and all the sorts, and the killer will actually be able to hear you. And as a survivor main and somebody who plays killer as well, I actually found this to be interesting, and I wonder if they're going to implement this feature into the system. Other than that, I think this is a great addition. So, good on them. Have a good one.